Good morning, good day, Sanmonani, good people. I with Yanga, the MC again on the Saturday morning. I'm so happy as usual. I'm coming through to you. It's the mid-Feb now. Oh, there's a host of talks all over about Valentine's. Everyone's thinking about their loved ones. Some people are thinking, okay, I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, it's a great time to be alive. Thank you for joining us once more on this exciting episode. And these episodes talk to the youth, and we're trying to get them as impactful as possible and making a change in this very cruel time and period. So as I once always say to you, we thank you for your interactions. We thank you for your contributions. We've been seeing you coming through and giving us your comments. Again, thank you. Thank you very much for all of that. We appreciate you. Throughout the week, we reach you on the Empowerment Podcast. Our drive and our goal is just to empower, it's to inspire and to equip you to just become the better version of you. So when every day of the week there is an episode and there's a show, we loving the fact that you're joining us on all these shows. Thank you for that. And we just wanted to spread the word for those who are still not sure. On Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, up until Sunday, you can join us on the Empowerment Podcast under the Facebook pages. If you're on Instagram, you can look at us under @empower_podcast. We'll be on TikTok as well, Empowerment Podcast. And also look for us on YouTube. You'll see there, we also post a few videos of some of the work. You'll see some of the team members that are coming through to you every day of the week. So do subscribe there as well, and do give us your info and your contributions. That is always appreciated. So yes, it's been a very hectic week. So thank God I'm not even going to be sharing a lot today, but I do have someone today who's going to be giving you, and who's probably going to be unpacking to you what you want to hear. We have on the line Kheswa. He's a very close friend of mine. So there's a lot that I look up to. There's a lot that we actually have done in the past and are doing currently. So there's a lot that I've listened and read from him. And I just love to have him here. And thank God he did actually answer the call. So today we'll get to have some insights from him. I'm not even going to introduce the type of summary and the background, his bio. I'll allow him to do all of that. I'm just excited that you're not sure what's happening yet, but you will find out as the show progresses. So, Siya, sir, tell us a bit about yourself, who Kheswa is and who is it all about. So you take it, sir.
Okay. Hello, Yanga. Hello, listeners. I'm very grateful to be here today. I've listened to some of your podcasts. I'm a very good fan. Being here is really marvelous, and I'm very privileged to be a part of this. Thank you again. Okay,
Thanks, sir.
I hear you keep calling me Usia, and people are going to see my profile as Siyabonga. Well, Siya is a short name for Siyabonga. So where do I start about myself without sounding arrogant and blowing my own horn? So basically, Siyabonga is a young guy. I'm 30 years old. I'm turning 31 in March. I'm married. God has blessed me with a very beautiful and loving and supporting wife.
Okay. So your Valentine's is sorted.
Yes, my Valentine's is very sorted, my friend. We have recently been blessed with our firstborn, who's 8 months old.
Congratulations, man. Okay,
Yeah. So basically, I was born and raised in Harding, which is a small town in the lower south coast of KZN, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. I was raised in a very dual spiritual family. Now I say dual spiritual family because One half of my family was very religious in the terms of a Christian-based religion.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we believe in
definitely, yeah.
Jesus, and the other half practiced more of a African-based religion. I suppose you would know what I mean by that.
But a lot of the
So,
listeners will probably understand as well.
so I grew up here with a very open-minded view of religion. Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of schooling, I went to Harding Secondary. I matriculated in 2007, of which I left for Durban to study optometry. I'm an optometrist. At the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I proceeded to graduate in 2011, of which I then started working as a junior optometrist in a private company
definitely, yeah.
Which is north of KwaZulu-Natal. Then went on to in Christ the King, which is in Ikopo. It's a very small town, still in the rural KZN. After that, I was appointed as a district optometrist at Heli Kuala District, Department of Health. I worked there for about 8 years. Yes, 8 years. After a very long stint working with government Yanga, I decided no, I needed to join out on my own, and I went solo and I opened my private practice, henceforth Kheswa Optometrist, which I think you're familiar with.
Okay, and this was which year again?
This was 2020, last year.
This is last year. Okay. Congrats on that. I know that actually. I've never told you that. No, great, thanks. Yeah, let's go.
Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, I did that simultaneously. I had a business venture, a small enterprise, same Kheswa Holdings, which I mainly concentrate on construction contract, and I also do some voluntary work. I work with various NGOs, specifically those that concentrate on cataract surgeries, being an eye specialist and all. So I'm just a young, energetic guy who loves having fun, spending time with family and friends. And I'm goal-driven. I just strive to improve myself to be a better version of myself each day. That's just basically me in a nutshell, Yanga.
Thank you, Kheswa. So that's actually a mouthful. So you say that's a summary, but there's so much we could need to go back on and just reference. But that's fine. So we listening in and we obviously want to learn more. So you are now an owner of your very own optometry. Now take us through that transition phase. That's the one I'd like to just drill on just before we carry on. From the health department, you say now you are on your own journey as a standalone optometrist. What has happened? What did that transition? How was it all about? Just give us some of the type of challenges that you've encountered doing or going according to that route.
Oh, Yanga. Yes, I'm on my own now. I'm a private optometrist. But like I said, I've worked with the government for over 8 years. So it's been a very blissful and a very informative period in my life, Yanga. The knowledge that I've gained at public sector has transcended my life just beyond optometry itself, you know? The aspect of just being shown as a beacon of hope to people that are less fortunate than me. I mean, that's just God-given in itself. And it's made me evaluate my life in many aspects. And one of them is that I learned to not take for granted my current position of being blessed. You know, Yanga, we are blessed with lots of opportunities that most, if you know the position of our country, cannot afford. So we are blessed with the affordability of a convenient lifestyle that most cannot afford in our current country. But most of all is that working in a public aspect of our country, it just gives you that education of having to show compassion and humility at all times, to your fellow. Like Yanga, I won't lie to you. The public health sector in our country is very strained and it's overpopulated. I mean, the majority of the patients that use it, live well below the poverty line, and public hospitals are filled with many challenges. We have shortage of staff, shortage of technical equipment. We have long hours. We work long hours to try and clear long queues.
I can only imagine. I think you're finding a lot of that even when you talk of now the pandemic and you just listening to that talk and in relation to exactly what the health systems and the health workers are actually facing on an everyday basis.
Yes, it's even worse with the epidemic. And Yanga, there's even the aspect of financial compensation, which is very poor and non-motivational at all, if you had to be honest.
Although I won't say,
very few of us. Very few of us.
I'll take your word for it.
So, we work in the most remote and harshest conditions, minimal support, and no financial, or I would say minimal financial motivational compensation, for lack of a better word. You see, so it's very harsh and hard conditions to work off. But one thing I told myself is that there are some sort of productive aspects you get from working under such conditions, and one of them for me was that when you work in an area with so few resources available, and you have to work on your feet, and you have to think as thing goes by. It teaches you to think out of the box, You have to be fast-paced with solutions. Because at the end of the day, you still have to ensure that all of your patients receive adequate medical management. You see? So for me, that became a driving lesson, or that became a technique that I learned, that it evolved me to become a technical problem solver. Working in public has increased my clinical competence as a clinician. My clinical knowledge base has increased. You must remember that the public hospitals is where you're going to see the most complicated and complex of cases. So that exposure alone will make you become a sound and professional clinician.
That's just the type of, in terms of getting that equipment under your bag, in terms of the different scenarios and the different cases you deal with on a daily.
Yes.
Okay.
But most of all, Yanga, working in government facilities, it teaches you humility. You learn to see people as people. You understand that their hopes of a better health, they lie in your hands. They have all their hopes in you. So, being able to serve my communities has just been the greatest honor bestowed me throughout my whole professional career. And I'm truly grateful for that. Now, Yanga, with the transition, having to move from all of that into
getting into to being the own boss now, to making sure you pay you.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So, yes, Yanga. Coming from all of that experience of working at public, and having to work at private practice, it's a big adjustment. So it's a very big adjustment, without stating the obvious, the financial benefits or implications, I would say, obviously, the finance, You get more finance in the term.
Now you're the boss. You pay you. So,
you become the boss. You now supervise yourself. And you practice to the extent of your own knowledge, without any authoritative figure breathing down your throat. You set your own pace, your own time, and you evaluate your own working conditions.
Myself would actually look at that already and think, okay, that's just the life. That's just what everyone wants and needs. Yeah,
it's what we all strive for. I mean, I would say it's basically the end point for any of us, whatever profession you are doing. I mean, so yeah, basically that's it. What private, I mean, you're able to set your own pace, your own time, create your own working conditions, and
definitely,
like basically resources at your own disposal, because you know our government system, Yanga, when it comes to procuring things, there's a lot of red tape, leg tags.
So
when you can rid yourself of that,
I know all about it. Yeah.
When you can rid yourself of that, everything is just done faster and quicker, and so it just makes life easier, and you're able to work with it. The only downscale I can tell you, Yanga, about working in private is that there's a certain level of compromise in terms of your generosity that you need to make, because let us not forget that this is business, Yanga.
It's not business. It's just
it's now business. Yes, there are bills, there are salaries that have to be paid. You now have to start viewing your patients as clients.
Yeah, definitely.
You now need to change the mindset of that your consultations are business transactions. But you have to do all of this and try and still maintain a level of humanity and compassion, Because at the end of the day, you're a health worker, you took it oath to provide at the best of your level the most affordable and outcomes cares for all of your patients or clients, regardless of wherever you're based, whether it's public or private. Okay.
Yeah.
So I suppose you have to maintain that balance, and I try and do that. But the biggest challenge, Yanga, is that the private sector is techno savvy. There's a lot of machines and a lot of technology, Yanga. Like the things we learn, the skills we learn, machines are now being adjusted to do. Like there's a lot of artificial intelligence. So if you're not careful, you're gonna get absorbed into that system, and your technical skills are really gonna become redundant. So you need to teach. You need to keep yourself educated. You need to read articles, attempt all manual tests as possible, and just attempt anything that you can do with your hands. Don't just be too dependent on the machine, Just try and keep your clinical knowledge at its level best, So you see, transitioning from public to private, Yanga, it's been a very interesting transition point in my professional career. I mean, going from a guaranteed salary, a fixed salary, in every month into an everyday changing salary every day. Remember, the performance or my remuneration level depends on the amount of work that I put in. So
that you put in,
So it changes basically. So it's been a very interesting point. I mean, it wasn't easy at first. I was filled with lots of doubts. I just told myself that it's now or never. I mean, here I am. I'm still standing strong. I'm independent.
Yeah.
My businesses are still going well. My ventures are still profitable. And it hasn't been a smooth transition, but it's been a productive one. And I'm blessed. I'm happy.
Yeah, that's pointedly where it actually was going to take me to the next question that I was going to pose, because now we've learned about that specific transition. But over and above that, you've also mentioned some of the other avenues that you actually play a role in. You've spoken a bit about you're the director to your own very company, that's Sam Kheswa Holdings. You're also an entrepreneur somewhere along the line. And here you're owning your very own practice. But now, how is it? Tell us about the difficulties of actually making sure that all of these are operating at the very top of their abilities.
Oh, Yanga.
And I'll actually add to that, because you also mentioned you a full-time dad, you married, and so it's just so puzzling. I just need to find how is one person all of and somewhere there.
I usually have these small chats with my wife, and she always asks me, okay, you know what, I know you're a man and you just want to do the best that you can for your family, but how did you put up with all of this? And I never ever have an answer for her. I literally have tears come down for me from my eyes that she actually appreciates what I'm going through. Because, Yanga, I'll be honest with you, my friend. It's not easy. I'll tell you the challenges from this is my personal experience. Do you know, Yanga, being a medical professional is that I have very limited knowledge in business management. Well, business as a whole, really.
True.
We're not taught anything in accounting, business administration, supply management, all of that. We literally have to go and acquire that outside as we proceed.
As additional,
So one of the business challenges for me has been my lack of business anything, be it management, administration, all of that. So I've had to acquire a considerable amount of business knowledge in a very short time space. I literally have to work and learn at the same time, which means I have to put in a lot of working hours as opposed to the ordinary business guy Joe, if I had to say.
True, I understand,
This means that I had to sacrifice a lot of my daily vocational activities, sometimes even time spent with my family. So, just to put it to you, it would be business exposure, and if I had to say the second one would be time management. I find myself that I have to be in different areas at different times, and it's been a very crucial challenge for me. It's very difficult to be in two places at the same time. But I've found that if you want to succeed, you have to make prior preparations and planning for each and every day, and always have a contingency plan for that unexpected moment. It's very important if you're juggling through multiple projects. So and Yanga, I'll be very frank with you. I'm not the only person who juggles through multiple jobs. But there are a lot of people who do that. So one technique I've learned is to acquaint myself with the people who are in the same hustle or industry as I am. So I study them, I learn how they operate, and I incorporate all of what I do into my business structure, And another thing is pride. I've learned not to be too proud of myself. Like, if I need help, I will ask for help. I will always ask for help. You see, I identify reliable people and I seek assistance where I see fit that I need to. I'm not too proud to ask for help from those who have succeeded or who have succeeded in the same field that I wish to find prosperity on. Okay, so it wasn't easy at first, my friend. Now I won't lie to you, but as I progressed, I learned that there's a time for everything. I mean, if I work hard and I put all of my energy and all of my time in whatever I'm doing, the greater the financial benefits.
Yeah.
The greater the financial benefits affords me more time to play and enjoy with the people I love. So basically, it's work hard, play hard.
Okay. Okay.
That's just
Now
how I've gone
that
through it.
phrase that everyone always says gets a kind of meaning today. Listen to what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, that's quite some informative steps there. Something we definitely can take. And I like how you speak about time management. These are aspects actually that aren't really taught per se in school or maybe tertiary. You speak about some of the things that you learn in business that you actually have to take on your stride because it's challenges that just appear as you are on the go. It's not exactly something that said, hey, I'm going to reach, you're going to see me when you come to this point. And so that's the type of information that I'm loving to hear. And before maybe we do head towards the end of this specific, because I'm hoping that we also going to address the gaps now, Sia, where the youth today, if you ask me, they're just not, or maybe we're just not living our lives in with the kind of attributes of being impactful, you know? So I'd like to maybe pick on your mind, say that what would you then account and advise be to the changes that you'd like to see our young brothers and our young sisters to actually being more positive, to being more impactful. You know, we want to be seeing more upcoming stars. We want to be seeing more upcoming professionals. There's so much that we'd rather be seeing than the stuff and maybe the sore sites that we do see in our country. What would you then maybe point out where the gaps are and maybe the things that you'd say we'd want to address to having a better youth today?
Yanga, it's so funny that you ended with this question because I could say so many things about this. This interview would probably go for 4 or 5 hours because I become so passionate and I have a lot to say about what the youth or what my opinions and feelings are about today's current youth, taking into account that we are the current youth as
That's correct. That's right. That's correct.
But I would just find a line to say, Yanga, as the youth of today, this is from my perspective.
Yeah.
I feel that as the youth of South Africa, of Africa as a whole, a continent full of possibilities,
True.
We have doubt in our own strengths and capabilities. We have caged or rather boxed ourselves into this notion of not wanting to pursue something on our own without guarantee of success. We want a sure thing, a quick, successful and sure thing. We don't invest in our talents. We don't invest into anything because we're clouded with doubts and fears of failures. So we attach and bind ourselves with things that we label as guaranteed quick success. Anything that guarantees us a basic, moderate lifestyle outside of poverty. Okay, so we clamp ourselves into one box where we're all rushing, and I don't mean to offend anyone into this profession. We're all rushing into where we in our country we call these the nominal professions. We all want to be teachers, nurses, doctors, police, and nothing more. Not because we have passion for these jobs, but because we simply looking at the guaranteed paycheck. You see, we can't see anything beyond the poverty lines because we are so stressed about unemployment and its impact to how society views us, that we miss pivotal opportunities, opportunities to foster our talents to great heights. The majority of youths, Yanga, are stuck in jobs they're not happy with, They wake up every day, they complain, but they still go about their lives. They go back to their jobs. They do as they're told. And they fear to make any drastic changes because we fear any cancellation of that guaranteed paycheck.
That's true.
So,
That's very true.
So in a nutshell, just to speak proactively, I'd say I'd love to see the youth. I'd like to see us, being the youth, change the view we have of education. Not to view education just as a general mainstream to get a guaranteed paycheck. Education is meant as a process that teaches you to express yourself. Whatever you have, whatever God-given talent you have inside you. And it teaches you to overcome whatever challenges you may fear or you may face to expose that said given God talent.
Yeah.
Understand?
No, definitely. I'm with you.
Yes. So I'd like us to just change our perspective of the education and our education process that we have, and to also just teach ourselves to explore all possibilities we have available, and not box ourselves to limited options. You see, now I know it's not simple. We all can't afford this kind of mindset. We don't come from I'd say similar economic situations.
Yeah.
Some of us are forced into these kind of occupations we have. But I'd like us to change our mentality and our viewpoint of education and what it's supposed to do for us. And I believe that when we focus in that, we will uncover great strength in actually knowing what it is that we personally ourselves enjoy and what we love. And when we pursue those certain talents, I believe we will become impactful members of society. And maybe it's just me, but it's a theory that just lingers and goes around in my mind. And like I said, it's not for everyone. Some may judge and say, I speak from a point of privilege, but I truly believe, and I believe that exercise has been done, that when you do something that you're passionate about, when you do something that you love on a daily basis, you truly prosper. And that's what I think our youth needs at this moment.
Oh, yes. Mr. Kheswa, I probably won't even elaborate, man. If you are out there and if you're the part of the struggles and the mindset that has just been painted here, where you obviously just believe in one aspect, you've never delved into you to find out what's your actual dream. Where do you want to take the type of talents and gifts and a lot of things that you see, some professions like optometrists and law, but you just think, hey, maybe it's not made for me. Those are the type of red tapes that we are putting and stopping ourselves from being the type of progressive youth that we want to be. So I'm not even going to say more, man. You've painted exactly the type of picture that I'm hoping our listeners are obviously going to take back home and look into that and maybe do some introspection. And maybe before I let you go,
I just hope I try.
Probably want to also know more about some of your work, where they can come, maybe if they are looking for the type of help that you offer, maybe on the socials, if you are actually with pages or with websites, anything. What would you maybe want to give before you go to the remarks in terms of people getting hold of you?
If anyone wants of these, they want to get hold of me on I'm a very open-minded person. I communicate freely on a daily basis. I welcome anyone. I am on Facebook. It's Kheswa. You'll find me on Facebook.
Okay.
On Instagram, it's smk.masia. And those are just my personal profile.
Okay.
But if you want to get in touch in terms of business, we do have a business profile page.
That was what I was actually going to ask for. If I want to know if I could get a pair of glasses, get my eyes checked, where do I go? Where do I then go to your contacts? That's what I want.
It's we do have an email. It's Kheswa Optimestrist at gmail.com.
Okay.
We are found in Harding, which is my hometown, as I said. We are on number 6 Hawkins Street in Harding, 4680. You can book appointments through our email at kheswaoptom. That's all small letters, kheswaoptom at gmail.com. Or you can go through to our Instagram page, which I found most of our clients. It's a very techno-savvy, essentially Yanga. So no one still does phone calls anymore. Everyone is just everyone is just techno-savvy at this century and now. So yeah. And the phone number you can find us on is 061 516 4957. We are available.
57.
Yes, we are.
Okay, you'll say that quickly again. 071
061
061. Sorry, yes.
516.
Yeah, 516.
4957.
Okay. No, super then.
And we are available on WhatsApp and Telegram. Yes.
Okay. Then you're not just giving off those numbers, or you also gonna give them out?
Yeah, we give off all those numbers, Yanga. We just want to provide a clear, comfortable future for everyone to have the best possible eyesight they can afford. And we can do it for you.
Yeah, people have probably never heard. That was probably a brand slogan right there. Clear. Okay. No, Mr. Kheswa, sir, any closing remarks? Our time has probably lapsed, but it's been great having you. I'm sure all the listeners will have taken something about from everything that you've said. And obviously going into the weekend, it's definitely hopeful that people will have something that would have added some value to their lives. But before I do say my goodbyes, would you want to say anything to our listeners just quickly?
Nothing much out of the usual, Yanga. As a healthcare professional, I just want to keep people's hopes up that we are in a pandemic. Please stay safe, avoid crowds, stay sanitized. And hopefully with the vaccines that are here, do register yourself, get vaccinated. The quicker we get vaccinated, the quicker we resume normalcy to our lifestyles. And just have fun at home and take better care of yourself and your health. And we'll see you soon. Hopefully.
Okay. No, thank you, Mr. Kheswa. Thank you to all our listeners. Up until next week, we love you. We appreciate you. Tune in again, and thank you again for listening. And it's goodbye.